On Friday, on the radio program, I announced the date of Restoring Courage in Jerusalem and where it is. On 8/24, right there at the Temple Mount in Jerusalem. I'm inviting the world to come, whether electronically or physically. Be there with me. To take a stand and to be who you were born to be. There is good and evil in the world. And I said to my staff this morning on the radio, I said, we have to start a new game show, good versus evil. And we'll just take calls from people who say, people beheading people, people saving the people who tried to blow them up or behead them, good or evil. I wonder how many Americans will know the difference. Do they even know what good and evil is anymore? I contend, yes. Yes. Now, will people stand in their own communities or even more so, stand in a war-torn area and take a risk just because they want to show the world and show their God? You're not going to bully me. And I know the difference between good and evil. And no matter what happens, I'm not going to change. We have to decide now, before things get crazy, who we are. I think we're already headed down this road. We're a divided country now. I feel a little like Michelle Obama. This is the first time I've ever been proud of my nation. Now, I've always been proud of my country. But I have never felt like we were a nation divided. About a year and a half ago, I started doing research on the Civil War, and I wanted to see how things were right before the Civil War, because I kind of wanted to be able to check the clock. If we start going this way, what does it look like before a Civil War starts? We're not there yet. Things right before the Civil War, I mean, there was one congressman that I think beat a senator almost to death in the well of the Senate. It was bad. So we're not there yet, but there are two different Americas that are starting to emerge. And it's really the difference between good and evil, I think, or embracing good or evil, allowing ourselves to become something that we're not. I've been telling you about the Arizona curriculum that is teaching our kids to overthrow the government. It's as simple as that. Overthrowing. It is the most horrific curriculum I have ever read. Now, if that wasn't bad enough, the same school district that is raising these kids is now sending a director of student equity to a conference, believe it or not, headlined by the one and only Bill Ayers. Okay, so things are out of control in Arizona. But now I want to show you a couple of other scenes. Here we have, this first one over here is a Denny's fight. The women are fighting over syrup. The next one, women fighting on a New York City subway because one is eating spaghetti on the train and the other doesn't like it. There's women fighting in a gas station parking lot. They're celebrating after the fight. And then, of course, the horrible footage of the McDonald's beating, a beating of a woman so badly that she goes into a seizure. I just told you the story about a Dairy Queen where somebody walked in and had a fake grenade. Or, you know, the sword in Pizza Hut. I mean, when you go into these places, when you can't go into a Denny's and know that, you know, people aren't going to beat each other up over maple syrup, you have to ask yourself, what happened to us? Where is the America that I understand, where we're decent to each other? What's striking to me is one of these Americas is in the relative midst of plenty. And then you start to see the other America. I mean, one, all they have to do is ask for syrup, and they can get it. This one, you could ask for syrup all you want, you ain't gonna get it. The other America is in the midst of devastation. Ask yourself tonight, which America do you want to live in? Believe it or not, I'd rather live in the one that has no mall, a crippled hospital, a city where there are no jobs, where my home is gone, I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I'd rather live in that America if people behave the way Americans are supposed to behave, how we're expected to behave, decently to each other. We celebrated on this program how the Japanese behaved after the tsunami earthquake. More than 400 aftershocks destroyed their country. But now look at the Midwest. It is being done quietly, without any fuss. 116 people so far dead. Church in Joplin, Missouri, housing 40 people, giving them food and clothing, without any fuss. In a neighboring town, they're collecting food and hosting dinners for people who have lost everything. When you have this kind of devastation in your country, and you don't hear about it, it's because people are behaving like Americans. America, I urge you tonight to begin your process, your journey on being who you were meant to be, not the person we've all allowed ourselves to become. I have a couple of special shows coming up for you. First of all, on Friday, a crash course in everything you need to know about our founding fathers and how they represent faith, hope, and charity. And on Monday, Memorial Day, you remember the survivor mom from the fire that we showed you? Stephanie Nielsen, her whole family, all of her children, join us for the full hour. Set your DVR next Monday. From New York, good night, America.